Happy Wednesday to you, everyone. It's a beautiful day here today and a great day to continue my dog agility series. I tell you what, today we're going to be working on the teeter. This was Captain's nemesis by far. And he had a lot of company. It's one of the most difficult obstacles for most dogs to negotiate for a variety of reasons. There's a balancing portion of it where you have to come up to the fulcrum here, wait on it, then ride it down. It's kind of like an amusement park ride for dogs, and some dogs just take a little bit to get more comfortable to it. Captain certainly did. And also, Captain's a member of the herding breed, and these are dogs that this particular breed is more susceptible to noise phobias, to be fearful of loud noises. And so when this thing would come back down, it would just smack the ground. And when it would, just go bang. And you'll see that a lot of times at the competitions, depending on what kind of flooring they have underneath. And it'll startle a lot of dogs. And it certainly did Captain. We had to put all sorts of things underneath it. So I recommend that if you have a dog who gets startled by the noise when this thing naturally comes back down after the dog negotiates the seesaw or the teeter, then I recommend that you put something down here. Either put this on really thick, soft grass like we have ours today, or put a mat underneath it. Just make sure you didn't just incorporate a trip hazard. But put something down here, okay? Because that is the one thing that has scared more dogs than anything else, I think, is the sound that this thing makes. You know, it's on metal, and you can make your own, but there's just a lot of moving parts and a lot of rattling and a lot of shaking and a lot of just stuff going on. And the only thing that's going to really help with this is be patient. Patient. So many people push this obstacle so quickly. Okay, so be patient on it. All right, before we even get the seesaw or the teeter up on the pivot point right here, the fulcrum, take a look at yesterday's video when we talked about the dog walk. And you'll see where we had Captain literally walk the plank. Yeah, this is 12 inches wide, 2 inches high here, and 12 feet long. And the dogs have to learn how to, on purpose, purposely place their feet, controlled movement of their legs, more narrow than what it would be naturally for any of these medium to large size dogs. So make sure you do your homework down low, close to the ground, back and forth on the plank, on the plank, on the plank, on the plank, on the plank. Making sure that you make contact with the touch zones. And again, this is day 3 of the agility series and the third obstacle we're talking about. And it too has 2 contact zones. Again, you'll recognize those at any dog agility competition because those zones will be a contrasting color to the other parts of the equipment. They will contrast blue and yellow. And that means you must touch those zones or that obstacle is going to cost you points, disqualify you. It just really depends on the event that you're attending and their particular rules. So now, to train this, a couple things I want you to pay attention to. As the dog comes up, you lead the dog up, I highly encourage you that in the beginning you make the dog wait right here. And you control the descent. There's a couple of ways to train the back part, or what I call part 2 of the seesaw, going down, riding the seesaw to the ground. And those are either A, pause at the pivot point, allowing it to go down, or B, have the dog walk all the way to the end and have it go down on its own. If you do that, I highly recommend that you teach your dog to lie down on command on the seesaw to have a better grip, ride it down, and as soon as it's down, then you can release your dog. You just got to play with it and just figure out, what works for my dog on this obstacle. But here's some fundamentals. Okay, right off the bat with Captain. Okay, the command that you use, again, you can come up with any command. I'm just throwing out ones that we typically use and the ones that we typically hear in dog agility. Okay, first rule first, short leash. So here we go. I'm sucking on my leash. My hand's about 6 to 8 inches away from Captain's neck. I'm going to give the command, teeter. And then I'm going to make sure he goes slow so he touches the contact points. Teeter. And then right here, I'm going to stop him. I'm pretending like he's a new dog. Allow the back end. I'm going to push on it so it goes down. And then allow him to continue off. Attaboy. And then, of course, give him a reward. Another thing that you can do to help with that focus, especially down here on the end, is make sure you go ahead and put a reward. Sorry, I'm having a difficult time negotiating my treat pouch today, cow dog. And then I'm going to let him see me. What, see this, buddy? Right there. It's going to be waiting on you when we get to the end of this. Okay? So now we come back over here again. Always start under control. Teeter. Lower it down. And right there, make contact. There we go. And then come right off that teeter. And do this until the dog is comfortable enough to negotiate the seesaw on their own without your help. Because in a competition, you're not going to be able to touch the teeter. The dog will have to do it itself. Teeter. Bingo. Just like that right there. And then hop off. And I really do like them to finish all the way off the end. So if you have a problem with the dog just kind of cutting the corner a little bit, then I'll just, like I did in the very first day of this video series for agility, I'll put the orange traffic cones at the end and just create a chute. Okay, if our dogs are a little hesitant, lure them. Teeter. And then stop about right here at the fulcrum. Give a treat. Control your dog. Lower it slowly, slowly, slowly. And then let them follow that treat to the very end and have them hop off. Okay, if this thing makes a loud noise, catch it before it hits the ground. Come back around and practice one repetition after another. So in the beginning, you do a whole lot of control. Cow dog. Teeter. Slow them down, stay even with the head, lower it. See how Captain adjusts his body weight there? Just naturally, just get slow on his own. Naturally, rise that teeter. Teeter. Again, point to the end. There we go. And he waits, and then he comes off. All right, and like so much of agility, you'll find out towards the end here, when we start doing multiple obstacles at the same time, you'll see that some will allow you to gain missed time. You start slowing down. It's better that you do it correctly, better that you do it safely. The dog doesn't learn how to cheat, doesn't learn how to make big mistakes. Be patient with this because it will pay dividends in the competition. Captain was out of about 10 dogs in the competition during the 4 weeks of practice leading up to the competition. He was darn near last place because he couldn't get this. So he got everything else, he just couldn't get this. But we just made sure that everything else he did was spot on. That A-frame, that dog walk, the weave poles, which we're going to show, the pause table, the tunnel, the bar jump. Everything was spot on. It was perfect. And he had a tremendous amount of confidence. So was he the fastest dog over the teeter? No. But was he sure-footed and fast on the rest of the obstacles? Oh, yes, he was. When he won, hands down, no one could even get close to him because I made sure that everything that we practiced with him was the right way, the correct way, being very, very patient. Okay, one last time here. Here we go. Ready, cow dog? Let me break off a couple treats here. Okay, we're going to go for the lure to the pivot point, teeter, and we're going to stop right there. Allow the dog to take the treat. Fix yourself, buddy. There you go. Lower it down. Walk the dog to the end. Give that treat. And then give your release word free to get going to the next obstacle, whatever you want to do. And at the end of the day, cow dog, teeter, buddy. There we go. Yeah, and come on down. Kind of slipped off there a little bit at the end. So again, we want perfect practice. Teeter, man. Right there. Spot that landing, buddy. There you go. We're going to work on it. See, it keeps falling off, so I'm going to work on it here. This is what you guys need to do. Control them a little bit. So I'll use a treat to spot the landing. Again, he hasn't been on this teeter for over a year. Teeter. Spot the landing, buddy. There you go. Good, 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 good. And that's all you have to do is typically if you give them a target, they'll focus on that target, short leash it, and walk it off. That little, at the end there on the 2 previous repetitions, those are little mistakes. Little mistakes. We encourage small mistakes. We just don't want big, gigantic ones. Little ones, that's how we learn. We also adjust our handling. We learn too. We go, okay, so he's kind of going off the edge a little bit down here. Is that legal? Yeah. But could that become sloppy and not legal later on? Oh, heck yeah, it can. So therefore, just work it over and over again. What do you have to do? What adjustment do you have to make sure this thing is successful? All right, guys. Cow dog, free. Do your own thing, buddy. All right, so the Seesaw, don't let it be your dog's nemesis. Don't. Learn from us, learn from Captain. I wish I did have a video. I'll see if I can dig one up. Because I'm telling you what, I think if he even knew we were going to do dog agility for the day, he didn't want to do it because of the Seesaw. Well, they all get over it if you just do it right and you're patient, they work it. And now you see he just has a blast doing it. Nothing to it. That's one of the things I really like about dog agility, is that it allows you to overcome trials. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, it's difficult. Yeah, but that's called the good stress. And that builds that relationship between the two of you. I got you, man. We're going to get through this thing together. We're our team. And we're going to keep pushing through this. And once you've taught your dog, like Captain, to go over a Seesaw like this, all these other obstacles we have here, heel, sit down. Are you kidding me? That's kindergarten work. That's JK stuff there, baby. So again, there's so many reasons why I love dog agility. I trust you, buddy. You trust me. You follow my direction. I look for what you're doing so I can make adjustments to you. That's what it's all about. Okay, guys, so that's it for today for the Seesaw. It's really cool. Tomorrow we're going to move into the weave poles. For a lot of dogs, that's their nemesis, is the weave poles, and the owners hate it too. But there's no reason to hate it. I'll show you tomorrow how you can get your dog going through weave poles in no time at all. See you then. Take care. Cow dog.